Hi everyone, Miss Katie here. This lesson is about mixing paint with watercolor. So we've been talking about different colors this past week. Now we're going to actually get to use them and see color mixing for ourselves. So first things first, you'll need some materials, some sturdy watercolor paper. The sketchbook paper from your sketch pad is perfect for this. You'll need a paintbrush. You'll need some watercolors. And then a cup for water. I usually just grab something from the recycling. This is an old sour cream container, and I fill it barely with any water at all, just maybe a 1/4 inch of water in there. And then we'll also have a pen that we'll use later. So grab those materials, and also maybe think about some newspaper or something to set down under your paper so that you're not getting your table all wet and making a big mess. All right, so the next step to this project is we're gonna, on our nice thick watercolor paper, we're gonna use a pen and we're just gonna draw overlapping shapes. You can trace them, so I'm gonna use this circle to trace my shapes, but the important thing is to make sure they overlap, and I'll explain that when we get to the painting part. So I'm gonna stick with just circles, but you can draw any shapes you like and see how my shapes overlap. So my two circles overlap. So I'm gonna keep going and then I'll check back. All right, so I've filled up my whole page with shapes so you can see lots of circles, and the important thing is that they overlap. Remember, do any shapes that you wanna do. My next step is to paint those shapes. So I'm gonna try and stay within the lines, and my challenge is to only use our primary colors. So I'm only using the red, the yellow, and the blue. Okay, and we'll see what happens. So when I'm painting, first thing I do is dip my brush in the water. I do not need much water. That's how I make my colors nice and bright, is by not using too much water. If you use a lot of water, your colors won't show up as nicely. So I've got a little bit of red on my brush, and I'm going to paint in my first circle. There you go, one circle painted red. Next, I'm going to choose a different color, so either yellow or blue, and I am going to paint the circle right next to it, fill it all the way in. So I'm going to choose blue. I rinse off my brush in between colors. All right, there you go. And I want you to start to notice what happens where those colors overlap. What starts to happen with those colors? So I'm going to keep going, painting all of my shapes with primary colors. All right, so I've finished painting my circles, and while I wait for my paint to dry, I'm gonna start cleaning up. So first thing I do is really give my paintbrush a good rinse in the water and try and get all the paint off of it. I may also need to rinse it under the sink with some clean water. And once I'm done, I wanna make sure that the brushes, all the hair is facing up. So that's how we keep our brush really nice, is get all the hair facing up, and it will dry that way and be ready for next time. If your paints got really messy, maybe there's a lot of water in there, you could give that just a quick wipe, get some of the water out there. And once you've got most of the water out, then you can close it up and keep that ready for next time. And then set your paint somewhere where it can dry. I would say give it an hour just to be safe. And then you'll pour out your water. All right, I've let mine dry. Here is the final product. You can see how the overlapping colors created secondary colors. It's especially easy to see with the blue and yellow making green. You might be able to tell the red and blue kind of make a purple, and here the red and yellow making orange where they overlap. So we just made some secondary colors with just our primaries.